Hey dudes, I'm Hilah, and today on Hilah Cooking, I've got another one of my grandma's recipes to share with you. This one is so simple and easy, I almost didn't even think it was worth making a video, but she really did pride herself on her queso. So today we're gonna make Tex-Mex queso, which is just Velveeta melted up with some canned tomatoes, green chilies. My grandma adds onions that are sauteed in bacon fat, and her recipe actually came from our old neighbor, Rena Marion. So it's Rena's cheese dip, and Rena died when I was really little, but I do remember her, and my grandma would make this every Christmas, and whatever, it's Velveeta, but it is good. Alright, the first step is we're going to saute one very large chopped onion in some bacon fat, which I happen to have here. And if you notice, I'm not using my cast iron skillet today because I'm actually using my grandma's queso skillet. This is what she always made queso in. So I have it now, and I'm going to use it to make queso. So there we go. Everyone wins. So I've just got some bacon fat here. And she used to use bacon fat, and then remember in the 80s when everyone was like, oh, margarine, oleo, it's better for you. Then she started using oleo, as she called it. But she would totally put an entire stick of oleo in here and melt it down and saute the onions in that. So I don't know if it was really any healthier than a tablespoon or two of bacon fat, but at any rate, you can do either one. I mean, you really don't need a whole stick of butter or margarine, but if you don't want to use bacon fat, you can totally use butter or margarine instead. I promise my grandma would approve. And then here's my very large onion. So you just want to saute this over medium heat until the onion is real soft. If it gets a little bit brown, that's okay too, but what we're really just going for is soft and juicy and sweet, like my grandma. Sorry, was that gross? Love you, Grandma. She had a good sense of humor, so she would have laughed. And this grandma actually, she really didn't cook that much. This was kind of one of the things that she made a lot. And so in Texas, it's a tradition to have tamales on Christmas Eve. And so we would always have tamales and rice and beans, and then she would make her queso. And we would have that and just eat just a crazy amount of chips with Velveeta queso dip. And then pour it on our tamales. And anyway, grandma stories. So this will probably take about 10 minutes. Just keep stirring it until it's nice and soft. And if you wanted to leave this out too, you could totally do that. And in its base form, queso is really just Velveeta and Rotel tomatoes and green chilies. So this is making it a little bit, putting a little personal touch on it, a little more homemade. Once your onions are starting to look like this, they're soft, they're translucent, they're maybe getting a little bit brown because maybe you forgot about it and went to cut up your cheese and forgot to stir them for a second, then you're good to go. So I'm going to add our canned tomatoes and green chilies, and y'all know I try to stay away from canned things, but sometimes, there's really no good substitute. This is one of those rare occasions, I think. So we'll mix that in. If you want to add 2 cans for this, you totally can, but one was really what my grandma did. Although a lot of times when I make it for my friends, I'll put in 2. Because we like it spicy. And a lot of times people get fancy with it and add black beans and, crispy taco beef filling mix, picadillo and stuff, and you can totally do that too. But this is fairly simple. Okay, anyway, sorry for the rambling. Here is 2 pounds of processed American cheese. Do not be afraid of it. That's what makes this queso. Otherwise, it would be like queso fundido or something, which is good, but totally different. And when a Texan says they would like an order of queso, they're not talking about queso flamiado or anything like that. They're talking about this. Oh my God, I just remembered this awesome joke that I made up. Hey, what's the best cheese in the world? American. It's pretty good, right? I don't really believe that, but sounds like something someone might say. So we're just going to kind of stir it around until it melts into those tomatoes and green chilies and onions and gets all gooey and mushy. And then you can keep it warm in a crock pot. A lot of times what I'll do, since I don't have a crock pot that has one of those removable inserts, so it's a real bitch to clean, I fill it halfway with water, put all the queso into a glass bowl, and then set the glass bowl in there so it's almost like a double boiler system to keep it warm, and then I can take the glass bowl out and wash it, and it's way easier. So there you go. All right, just want to kind of turn it down to medium and just keep stirring it until we're all melted. All right, I'm ready to eat some queso. How about you? That better be a yes. And this is how you serve it. You put it out on a table, and you have to stir it once in a while because it'll get that skin on top, but that's okay. You just stir it right back in. It just melts right in there. Nobody's the wiser. You get some chips. dip it in there. You could get your own special plate if you wanted to do that, but oh, damn it. You know, we never did that, and I turned out just fine. Then you chomp it. You just chomp it, dudes. So, I'm not trying to pretend this is healthy. I know this is not healthy, but sometimes you just gotta say, screw it. Let's have some queso tonight, family. Let's sit around the table together and talk and have queso and beers. So that's what I'm gonna go do. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, leave in the comments below. And feel free to take this recipe and add picadillo or chunks of avocado or cilantro or, you know, whatever you want. You can do whatever you want with it. It's yours now that I've given it to you. So you're welcome, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. This is the queso dance like a robot. That was awful. I'm sorry.